I will start in another 2 minutes.
Okay. Is PP Victor on? I don't know what he's maybe using as his handle. If he doesn't want, I sent you a message on WhatsApp, right?
President Paul, I'm on.
Yes, good evening. Oh,
I'm on.
yes,
I'm on.
okay, PE Junior, yes, welcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll check your message, DP Stewart.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, DP Desmond, I'm about to start.
All right, yes.
Okay, good evening, everyone. This meeting of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston is now called to order. We will have our national anthem played, followed by the objects of Kiwanis International by DLGE, Trevor Christian, and invocation by past Director Easton. Could you all stand for the national anthem, please?
We're not hearing, President.
We are not hearing.
Okay, my apologies. BP Desmond, could you do me the honors? Could you do me the honors, please? Oh, probably, yes, I get it. Okay, let us restart.
All right, let me look.
Thank you very much. Okay, may I? Objects of Kiwanis International.
Objects of Kiwanis International. To give primacy to the human and spiritual rather than to the material values of life. To encourage the daily living of the golden rule in all human relationships. Promote the adoption and the application of higher social, business, and professional standards. To develop by precept and example more intelligent, aggressive, and serviceable citizenship. To provide through Kiwanis clubs a practical means to form enduring friendships, render altruistic service, and to build better communities. To cooperate in creating and maintaining that sound public opinion and high idealism which make possible increase of righteousness, justice, patriotism, and goodwill.
Invocation. EP Eastern.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we are thankful this day that you have given us. Hearing us? Hearing me?
Yes.
What?
I'm being heard?
Yes, Easton.
Okay. Heavenly Father, we are thankful this day that you have given us for its blessings, its opportunities, and its challenges. As we gather here this evening as Kiwanians, we pray that we are ever mindful of the opportunities to render our service to fellow citizens and children of the world. Open our hearts to those in need and are suffering. We place the sick under your care and hereby ask that you restore their health again. Above all, grant us the grace to acknowledge your will and know that whatever you do it for us. In your precious heavenly name, amen.
Thank you very much, DLGE Trevor and Past Director Easton for assisting us with the opening exercise. I'm going to ask that participants, if you could mute your mic, please, we will appreciate that. Well, welcome everyone to another meeting of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston. Yesterday, of course, was a public holiday, and in fact, it was National Heroes Day, and two of our distinguished Kiwanians were awarded for their service and achievements within Jamaica. We have our director, Warren McDonald, who was conferred with a national honor out of distinction in the rank of commander class, and our very own past chairman, Raymond Monroe, is to receive the Michael University College 185th Commemorative Award in a few days' time. Well, this evening is our regular meeting that we have up close and personal, which is done on a quarterly basis, and we will hear from our distinguished Kiwanians, past President Victor and Kiwanian Joseph. At this time, I'm going to ask our President-elect Junior to welcome those who are here with us this evening. President-elect Junior.
Thank you, President Paul. We'd like to welcome all at the meeting this evening, our own members plus our visitors. So we welcome you all, and we are going to give you an opportunity now to bring greetings from your club to our club. We'll start with those outside of Jamaica, those Kiwanians clubs outside of Jamaica. Do we have any clubs outside of Jamaica that is visiting us now?
clubs outside of Jamaica? If not, we'll move on to our clubs here locally. We'll move on to club in our region 25. Do we have any such clubs?
Good evening. I don't use President Paul. I'm DP Geraldine from Kiwanis Club of Nigger Point. We bring greetings from our members. I think this is perhaps our second time attending your meeting. We are happy to be here. There are 4 of us this evening. I'm DP Geraldine, PP Sonia, PP Indira, and Director Veronica. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, DP Geraldine. You are welcome at our meetings, and as you know, you're always welcome. Other clubs from District 25? Is there any other club from District 25? If not, we'll move to 24.
We're at Division 24.
Yes. Division 24. Who do we have?
I don't have any clubs.
Oh, I thought somebody was saying that they were there. Division 24? Could you mute your mic, please? Division 24? If not, let us move to 23 West. Club
Good
from
evening.
23 West.
Good evening, fellow Kiwanians. Greetings from the Kiwanis Club of South St. Catherine. This is LGE Pauline. Currently, there are 2 of us on. Others are expected to join soon. So we're here to listen and enjoy the meeting. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, LGE Pauline. I'm sure you'll enjoy it, and I am hoping that you'll have other members that will be coming.
Yes,
are joining us in a little while.
Right.
Division 23, any other? We can hardly hear you. We can hardly hear you, but we welcome you.
Maybe President, maybe she should put it in the chat. We will acknowledge it in the chat if you do so.
VP Theodore.
Welcome back. We're continuing.
Yes, P. Junior?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
Yes.
The adoption of 2 girls in St. Thomas continued today.
I can hardly hear you now, though. It's not coming through well.
No, we're hearing it clearly, sir. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Chris? Oh. I am not hearing anything. Right.
Hello. Good evening. Good evening. I don't know if you're hearing me. I think that was DP.
Yes, you're on. You're on. Go ahead.
That was DP Leroy trying to introduce North St. Andrew.
Okay, good.
This is past President Dennis, introduced from Kiwanis Club of North St. Andrew. I certainly hope we certainly hope to enjoy your meeting. We are 5 of us are there right here right now, and I expect others to join later.
Okay, that's good. Thank you, DP Dennis. I'm sure you'll enjoy the meeting. Any others from 23 West? Division 23 West? If not, we'll move to East, Division 23 East. If not, we'll move on to Division 23 Central. No?
Good evening,
Division
everyone.
yes.
Kiwani Taisha. And
Go ahead.
Kiwani Taisha representing
Taisha.
the Kiwanis Club of Constant Spring. I hope you will have a productive meeting. I think we have 2 persons on today. Apologies for President Camille. Hopefully she will be joining shortly along with other members. All right.
Yes. Thank you for visiting, and we know that you'll enjoy it. You certainly enjoy this meeting.
That Kiwanis North St. Andrew is actually from Division 23 Central also.
Okay. Any others from Division 23 Central? Let us move then to our SLPs. Who is visiting with us tonight? SLPs. If there is none now, I'm hoping that you'll join us later on.
Good night, everyone.
Yes, good night.
This is President Joshua Brown from the American University College, Circuit International Club, and I am joined by my first DP, Sheil Barrett, and our District Secretary for the Caribbean District, Dana Denton. And we're looking forward to a wonderful meeting.
I'm sure you will. Thank you, President. And we like when our SLPs are visiting with us.
Good night, everyone. President Kijani from the Kingston College Key Club. I am joined by my Vice President and Chairman of Projects, and we look forward to a very prosperous evening.
Thank you, President, and we sure hope that you'll find it very interesting tonight.
Good evening, everyone. I am President Adrian DaCosta from St. Andrew Technical High School, and with me tonight I have 5 members currently, and I'm looking forward to a wonderful meeting.
Good evening, everyone. This is President Sidan Curtis from the Camperdown High School Key Club, and at the moment it is just me alone, but other members are to join momentarily, and I'm looking forward to a wonderful meeting.
Our fireman, young one.
I'm not hearing anything, President.
PE Junior?
Is he muted?
No, he's not.
Yes, I was. I don't understand why. I'm on now, though. You hear me?
Yes, we're hearing it clearly, PE Junior.
Okay.
You're at
SLPs. Have we exhausted our SLPs? Any other SLPs? If not, we'll move to visiting Kiwanians. Are there any visiting Kiwanians here with us at this time? Who'd like to bring greeting at this time? Yes, Althea. The sound is not coming through.
Well, I'm not sure if it was if she was speaking or it was just an interference, but I think yes.
Any other visiting Kiwanians with us tonight?
Good night.
Yes, we're hearing you loud and clear.
Good night. Secretary Shanika Lewis from Kiwanis Club of North Spanish Town. We are 3 in number, consisting of myself, Director Ephraim, and prospective Bianca. Thanks for having us.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And
Good evening, P. Junior.
Yes.
Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Good evening. This is DLG Christine Long from the Kiwanis Club of the First City.
Okay.
Happy to be sharing with you. On the platform is also our immediate past president, Lillian Chambers, and some others will join you soon. Look forward to your usual exciting meeting.
I'm sure.
Thanks for having us.
You are very welcome, as you know, all the time, Christina.
Thank you.
Right, and be sure you'll enjoy yourself this evening.
Indeed.
Okay. Any other visiting Kiwanians? If not, we'll move to prospects. This is where I'd like to see a lot of visiting prospects. Do we have any tonight? Do we have any other visiting prospects? Or any visiting prospect tonight?
Moving on.
All right, we're moving on. Any other visitors on the platform?
Good evening, PE Junior. I don't know if South St. Catherine had introduced our members.
Okay.
Okay. The members of South St. Catherine bring you greetings, and I wish for you a fruitful year. With me is LGE Pauline, PVP Pauline, DP Charm, DP Weaver, and I'm President Althea. Thank you.
President Althea, thank you for coming, for attending, and we sure hope that you'll enjoy this meeting. I think you will.
Thank you. Yes, I will.
Yes. Any other visitors on the platform?
Hi, evening. Kiwani and Andrew here. I have a visitor with me, attorney at law Zuri Johnson. I'm not quite a prospective member yet, but hoping to rope into the club. But for tonight, I guess.
Yeah. Well, he's not quite a member yet, but I'm sure he's a prospective member.
All right.
We welcome you. Kiwani and Andrew, thank you for coming, and thank you for your team to be here as well. Are there any other visiting Kiwanians? If not, we'll just move on. Thank you all for coming, thanking our members as well, and all the visitors. And we welcome you at this meeting. This meeting should be a very exciting meeting, as we have always had in this segment. So we look forward to it, and I know that you'll enjoy it, and I hope that we all enjoy it. Thank you. Over, President Paul.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much, PE Junior. Welcome, IPP Richard.
Oh.
Yes, good evening, and
yes,
apologies for being late.
Yes, no problem, IPP Richard. Thank you very much for being here. Yes. Yes. At this time, I'm checking if we have any apologies for absence. I know I have one apology for lateness. DP Lloyd Barnett said he will be a bit late. DLG Willie, do you have any apologies for absence or lateness?
No, not this time, President Paul.
Okay, then. Thank you very much, DLG Willie. At this time, I will move over to our Vice President Newton to recognize birthdays and anniversaries of our members and spouses of our members. VP Newton.
Thank you, President Paul. Good night, everyone. Glad to be here. Well, we have a long list tonight, so let me get going. First off, I want to start with Kiwanian Avian Shaw. I know we told him happy birthday last week, but he has been such a hard-working Kiwanian ever since he joined. I thought we need to tell him again. So his birthday was on the 17th. We also have DP Marcel Boyce, whose birthday is today, the 19th. And I see everybody sending him happy birthday. And I am also wishing you happy birthday today, sir. Tomorrow, the 20th, we have two. We have the great President-elect Junior Stewart. He celebrates his birthday tomorrow. You might be wondering why he sounded so sprightly a while ago, because he's looking forward to his birthday tomorrow. And you have Kiwanian Van Garwin White, who also celebrates tomorrow, the 20th. We also have Kiwanian George Beckford celebrating on the 22nd, and also DP Leo Chung. Today, the 19th, my screen is not on full screen, so I can't see if he's there smiling. But today, the 19th, is also the birthday of Marie. And for those of you who don't know, Marie is the wife of DP Chris Robinson.
Okay.
And on the 21st, we have Jacqueline, who is the wife of past President Victor McFarlane. So Jacqueline celebrates on the 21st. And Director Eric Malcolm and Judith are the stars for this evening. Today is the anniversary of Director Eric Malcolm and Judith. So, hey, you know, they say you must pick out one, but sir, we have to pick out you and Judith and say happy anniversary. I want to find out now through President Paul, if there's anyone else. Oh, you're there.
Yes, DP Chris is there, yes.
That was Director Eric. And I hope the lady is beside you, sir. If she's not, give her our wishes. All right. Sure. All right, great. And I would want to find out now through President Paul if there's anyone else on the platform who is celebrating any special occasion right now. Anyone?
Yes. I think that as a club, we need to recognize the birthday of Nadia DeCosta, who has been the producer of our bulletin for a number of years.
Oh, yes.
Although she's not now, but today is her birthday.
Okay, well, I want to say, and I will thank you for that, PDT. I certainly will give Nadia a call because she has been a rock when it comes to our bulletin over the years. Thanks for that reminder. Is there anyone else who is celebrating a special anniversary right around now? Well, then we know we're all waiting to hear those two speakers. So it's back to you, President Paul.
Thank you very much, VP Newton. Thank you so very much for highlighting the special birthdays and anniversaries of our members. At this time, we will move over to our Secretary DLG Willie to give us Kiwanis education.
Thank you, President Paul. Fellow Kiwanians, visiting members, SLP members, before I give Kiwanis education, I believe we'd be remiss if we did not recognize past Chairman Raymond Monroe, who is on the platform. Good to see you, Raymond. You did say you would attend the meeting and you're here. Thank you, sir. And congratulations on your award. Last week, we looked at interclubbing. Looked at the definition of what is interclub. I just remind you, interclub may be defined as a prearranged visit to a scheduled meeting of another K family club and attend at least 60% of the meeting. Stresses 60%. In all cases, it is incumbent on the visiting club to advise the host club of their planned visit. What I would like to go into detail this evening are the two competitions, or at least there are two competitions which clubs in the division participate in. That is the Edgerton Chinloy competition and the Percy Lindo competition for fellowship. Unfortunately, the latter has been suspended due to COVID-19. In regards to Edgerton Chinloy competition, if you want to understand the scoring, it's fairly straightforward. There are three categories. There are clubs, diamond category with members 65 and over, gold category are members 35 to 65, and silver category with members less than 35. When scoring, the first 5 interclubs carry 5 points each. Every other interclub after that carries 10 points. So if you do 10 interclub, naturally the first 5 would be 25 points, and the second 5 would be 50 points, so you'd have total 75 points for the month. Now, there is a divisional committee that looks at the scoring and summaries of the 3 months. The first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and the fourth quarter are submitted to the committee who has the responsibility of ensuring the reporting is correct. And they look at other aspects of the attendance by clubs and interclubbing. Fellow Kiwanis, may I stress that in order to get a credit for interclub, you have to have spent 60% of meeting time. That I must stress because I know many of us, not only Kingston, all other clubs in Ireland who are meeting virtually sometimes forget that there is a criteria in terms of the time that we must spend at a regular meeting. Now, if a meeting is to start at 7, but it only starts at 7:30, if you arrive at 7, then you count 60% of the time after 7 o'clock. So I trust that will enlighten some of our members, particularly our new members, as to the importance of interclubbing and the competition that we are involved in, which is Edgerton Chinloy. Thank you very much, President.
Thank you very much, DLG Willie. Well, I mean, we have been doing pretty much interclubbing, of course. Thanks to Zoom, we have interclub as far as Toronto and in the US, so that's very good. And of course, we will continue to do so. At this time, we are on to our main event. Yes, yes, DP Chris. Yes, you have the floor, sir.
I wonder if DLG really wants to just tell us who was Edgerton Chinloy and why was the trophy named, interclubbing trophy named after him. I don't know if DLG really has the information at hand.
I know that Edgerton Chinloy was a founder member of, in fact, I believe, I may be wrong, but he was a charter member of the Kiwanis Club of downtown Kingston. I may be wrong.
Downtown Kingston, correct.
That's correct.
Downtown
Am I right?
Kingston.
DLG Trevor.
Yeah. Downtown
and it was named
Kingston.
after it because they wanted to stimulate interest in clubs interclubbing with other clubs. So they named after the competition after Edgerton Chinloy in memory of his service to Kiwanis. The latter one, which has been suspended, the Percy Lindo competition for fellowship, also named after a past member of the Kiwanis Club of downtown Kingston. Now, Percy Linda was regarded as one of their top interclubbers for many years until his sudden passing.
That is correct.
Very strong
I
on
just thought
fellowship.
Okay.
I just wanted to as part of the Kiwanis education, because you hear these names, especially for the new Kiwanians, and they haven't a clue who these persons were. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Just to say, Percy was very strong on fellowship.
Yes.
And hosted many fellowships at his place, at his business place. He was
business place on Ripon Road.
Yeah. A
Mr.
truck
President.
enthusiast and a partsman.
President.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, DLG Trevor and PD for that interjection. Yes, past District Trustee Ralston.
Yes, sir. May I ask 2 questions based on the presentation? One.
Yes, go right ahead.
Is the criteria set in stone?
Yes, the criteria are sent out at the beginning of each year to all the clubs.
Past District Trustee Ralston, yes, sorry about that.
Yes, past District Trustee. Clubs are reminded of the criteria at the beginning of each year.
Okay, then. Thank you very much.
Secondly, I was muted.
Yes.
Can you, based on your ability to have several instruments, attend several meetings at the same time?
I alluded to that. That's why I stressed. No, it is not ethical. It is not correct. Because you're not really participating when you're participating in 2, sometimes 3 meetings at one time. Interclub is only scored on your participation in 1 meeting where you should have spent 60% of the time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, DLG William, past District Trustee Ralston. Okay, we're over to our main event, and I'm sure we all want to hear from our 2 distinguished Kiwanians, past President Victor and Kiwanian Joseph. This segment will be led by DP Stewart. DP Stewart?
Yes.
Yes, you may go ahead.
Thank you, President Paul. Now, I have not been able to recognize the name in the list of participants for PP Victor. So I just wanted to first of all ask, is he online? Victor, are you online? Just say yes or no. Well, you wouldn't say no, right? PP Victor, can you indicate if you are online? Okay, I haven't heard a response, and I've tried to message him earlier in the evening. Anyway, our plan was to start with Kiwani and Joseph Francis. Now, how we do this? We don't introduce our members who are going to do up close and personal, for the very reason that what they are going to share with us will be telling us basically about themselves. So there's no point in me telling you about themselves and then they are going to do the same thing. So I just like you all to join in welcoming Kiwani and Joseph, who has been, well, you know, a lot of people may not know him, but he's been a member for quite a while. And through this vehicle, you know, we might be getting him even more activated. So, Joseph, it's over to you. Give him a warm hand.
Thank you, Brother Stuart. Fellow Kiwanian, good evening. I'm Joseph Dwight Francis, born under the clock in Kingston at Victoria Jubilee. At the time it used to be called Lining. Grew up in Almontown, which is a community behind our Fever Circle.
Sorry, are you using a speakerphone, Joseph?
I'm using it. You're not hearing me clearly?
I can hear what you're saying, but it's a little muffled, and it would be more. I'm sure it would be clearer if you just test it.
But sure, we are hearing him quite clear enough. Could it be from your side?
No, I don't think it's just me, Raleigh.
I am
There's an. I said I could hear what you were saying, but there was a certain lack of clarity that I would want. Can you make the adjustment, Joseph?
In terms of getting like
All right. All right. If it would be too much of a problem, go ahead. Let's go ahead. All right.
Okay, as I was saying, Almantown is a community of media circuit, pretty much behind Ministry of Finance. So that's where I spent a good 20 years of my life. My father was a tailor, and he used to do tailoring work for most of the guys in the community. And as you can imagine, it wasn't a profitable business for him because the guys who come to him are guys who didn't have the money to pay him in the first place. I went to Almantown infant school at the age of 4. My father took me in, and I definitely remember that time because I was going after my father when he was living in this new environment, which I found very strange with all these kids and so forth. First time I've been going to be left in that kind of environment. So I started to cry and I ran after him, and that's how he had to restrain me and put me back into the teacher and give reprimand and so that I could go through the door after he's gone. I then met my best friend at age 4 because he had a similar problem, and we both shared each other company throughout that period. My best friend now is Danny. He is a bishop in the Pentecostal church. I'll say more further about that. In my early days in school, I was not very attentive to schoolwork. I was more on the playful, wasting time kind of personality. Anyway, I leave from the infant school and went to primary school. And of course, because of I didn't do well at the common entrance, and I failed the first common entrance test that I did. My friend Danny, he also failed it, and as a consequence, but because of the difference in months in year, the time of the year, he went on to Kingston Junior Secondary School. I had an opportunity to resit the common entrance again, a second time, and failed again. So time come now for me to leave Almantown Primary School and to go to the Kingston Junior Secondary School. Well, that was a miserable time of my life because of the environment. The school normally engaged in battles with another school further up the road, Satola Park. Stones are hurled at each other. Kids who's going home in the evening, in a particular direction, in the Anatown direction, would get attacked. So it was a very miserable experience at Kingston Junior Secondary School. Because my friend Danny was 1 year ahead of me, he ended up needing to get into the point of graduation. And we had a serious talk, and that's when my life changed, because I recognized that he was at the end of a road and don't know his next move. Didn't pass anything to go anywhere else, and as such, it was a struggle. And basically, that's when I got my lease in life, and I recognized that this should not happen to me next year. Well, thank God, the government implemented the grade 9 achievement tests. And basically, it was the first year of the grade 9 achievement tests. And with my friend's experience, I recognized that I have to make good this opportunity that presented itself. So I went into a serious phase of studying, and the consequence was I passed. I passed for Woolmers. And that was the biggest joy of my life. Started Woolmers at grade 3. And so by this now, I would have completed the circuit. So I live pretty much on the eastern side of Ewa Circle, went to school on the western side, and now I'm at the northern side of Ewa Circle going to Woolmers. So I circled the Ewa Circle. And Woolmers was one of the better days of my life. Excellent school. And I remember they used to have these tests that they call the tri-weekly tests. Every 3 weeks you would get this test. And the first test that it was coming around, and I looked in the class and I said, wow, you have a Mazuka, you have Zaidi, you have Azan. So all these guys, you know, very affluent in the way how they go about doing certain things. But they basically was doing what I was doing in my primary days and wasting a lot of time. On the first tri-weekly test that I got, I came 12th out of about 29, 30 of us. And I was amazed. And I said, boy, these guys look so brilliant. And, you know, and it encouraged me to do more. So I proceed with getting more focused with my schoolwork and take it extremely serious. And at this point, at the end of grade 3, I reach a point now where there's a decision. If I can keep myself in the first 10, I can get to science, because Woolmers now only offered arts or science. And I wanted to get into the science stream because that was my futuristic intention. So there I was, worked my butt off and achieved success. Achieved success because I made it into the science stream. So now in the science stream, didn't have the Mazookas and the Azar, but I had like the Reese. And that's when I met Richard. But there's just one point I needed to bring up in my life in Almond Town and in a community. It did a lot for me because it's an environment that is, well, first of all, where I live was a corner lot. And in these inner city community, that's where the guys congregate, looking out for police, looking out for other individuals from different areas. And one of the problems with that inner settings is that if you are not strong-willed, you can find yourself going down the wrong slippery slope in life. And I've seen situations where some of the guys in the community has lost their lives because they took the wrong path. They took it to the guns and the knives, holding up people. And I just want to bring back some memories of my days going to Kingston Junior Secondary. You get your lunch money and you head into school, and you have these guys who wait out, and then they would swarm you, take away your lunch money. You go to school and you have a hard time because you can only drink water, you don't have any money now to buy lunch. And in those times, I became a sprinter because it's either I'm gonna go around the park or I'm gonna sprint it across. And my decision usually was to sprint it. So the moment I hit either circle, fence, and gate, I sprint it across to the next side. Wish they had at that time more athletic portfolio in the school, because if they did, I'm sure I would have been able to make some of those teams, because each day I have to run it across for 5 days. To say also that I remember once my father had always taught me, show me your company and I tell you who you are. And he always encouraged me not to get too entangled and friendly with the guys in the community. So one day he wasn't there and they were playing football as they usually do in the road. And, you know, they needed one more person on the team and I was invited and I opted to go. And I remember enjoying the football game for a good 15 minutes. And then suddenly I just feel somebody grabbed me in my waist. That was my father with his belt and gave me a good whopping that day and sent me inside. I was so humiliated, so embarrassed. But the lesson was learned. Show me your company, I tell you who you are. And I never engaged. I mean, I was like living in an isolation because that embarrassment took me through a long period of time. That was about age 12, 13 when that happened. And proudly, I'm pleased to say that it hurt at the time, but I have learned immensely his objective and what his goals for me in life would have been. Financially, things wasn't as good as it could have been. So I had to find ways to finance myself while going at Woolmer's. So I got a Saturday day job at Butter store down King Street. And in doing that job, they used to have on a Saturday these special sales that if you sell a certain amount, you get an incentive. And 3 out of 4 weeks, I work hard to get those incentives. So somebody coming up the stairs, you run after them, can I help you, sir? And so forth, so forth. And most Saturdays when I work, I was amongst the top sales. And I would get the additional incentive because I needed that additional money. So yes, my parents would give me a certain amount of fundings, but coming up as a young man, there are certain niceties you'd like to afford yourself, and you can only get it by working for it. And that's what I had to do. At Woolmer's, did reasonably well. Did 8 O-levels, passed all 8, went on to 6th form. And at 6th form, I basically was one of the first students at Woolmer's to have done technical drawing at the A level. Moving on, graduated from Woolmer's. Next step, got accepted into UWI. And at UWI, I went into natural science. Fortunately for me, they introduced the subject of computer science. And I went forward and stepped backwards and picked up that subject. So I ended up doing 4 years in university because I picked up the computer science because it was an area that I wanted to specialize in. Luckily for me as well, getting into university, going through the paces in university, the government had introduced the student, from the student bureau, a grant. And that helped me to finance myself throughout university career. As time progressed, I had to work. And one of the things that happened was that I got myself a holiday job with a computer company, having been now doing natural science, applied physics, and computer science. I moved forward, got a job with this computer company for the summer holidays and the Christmas holidays. That was a company where I learned to fix calculators. But calculators at that time was big things, you know, in size, and adding machine. I did very well at it. So for the last 2 years in university, they paid me services, and I was very happy for that. When graduated, there wasn't an hesitation for them to offer me a job in the company. So I graduated with from UWI with a second-class honors, and went into Boris Caribbean, which is an international company. Started off as a field engineer and fixing teller machines in banks, various accounting, computing equipment. In those days, a disk drive was like the size of your washing machine now, big, huge thing, and it's just a few kilobytes of memory storage that it was capable. And the workload and fixing those machines, you have to be very technically astute, because you have to be stringing up your oscilloscopes and testing and looking for signals and waves and that sort of stuff in order to fix it. It's not like now technology, it was, you know, big discrete components. You had to know your stuff to fix those equipment. Time progressed, move on from a field engineer to a group leader, and from a group leader to a zone manager. And within 6 years within the company, I was promoted to the highest engineering rank of engineering manager. This job at Boris Caribbean as a technical job, it gave me a lot of opportunity to travel, because as the technological years evolved, there it was that I had to be doing courses. So I might be doing 3-4 courses once every quarter. I mean, 3-4 courses per year. And this, for me as a young entrepreneur, gave me the insight now of, okay, so now I can start to do, in those days, I guess one could call it igloring. So you're traveling, and at that time, you know, we had major restriction in US, carrying US out of the country. So you have to be putting things in your socks and in your shoes and all sort of thing in order to get the fundings out to buy a few things. So I would normally peddle and buy gadgetry and come back, sell it to friends and relatives, until the world get around, and I was approached by the managing director for Inter-Island Alarms, and he introduced me to his line of business and said, listen, can you bring these equipment in for me, because visa expired and he had problems. And I said, sure. So in making the next course I went on, I brought in equipment for Inter-Island Alarms as my first business venture. And it progressed until it grew, and now I had more people in the business. The word spread that, you know, Mr. Francis can bring equipment in for you. And so now I have to be doing, at that time I used to have Air Jamaica having an early morning flight and a last flight. So I used to jump on those planes and like taxi, bringing in equipment and peddling and doing well because it affords me an opportunity to buy my first house after about 3 years. I then met my lovely wife, Annette, and I met her in going to one of our customers, Bars Caribbean customer. And at the time, she was working at Jamaica Livestock Association in the accounts department. And in passing, you saw this lady and you recognize you have to look again. Didn't realize I was reaching the door, almost walking to a door, and you look again the third time, and you walk up into a door, and you said, "Whoa, wow." I wouldn't say it was love at first sight, but there was just something special, an affinity that, and as fate will have it, she turns out to be my beautiful wife. So we are now married for 36 years, and I think they can now show the slides that was being shown earlier. So the family, we have 2 kids, Jason and Jordan. The good thing now is that Jason also had to go to Wolmer's, you know, and he did make it to Wolmer's. Jordan, she went to Immaculate. And in all of this, I recognize that I'm more of an entrepreneur. So that's a picture for Jason. I'm more an entrepreneur, and basically my days will be numbered working with a computer company. I've learned a lot in the service business from Boris Caribbean. And by this, Grace Kennedy had bought out Boris Caribbean and changed the name to, that's Jordan, I changed the name to Grace Unisys. And at another point, I changed it again to Info Grace, something to that effect. And we decided that we're seeing an opportunity that there is a void in the business sector for a reputable service organization in the form of electronic security. And I decided, we both decided that it is an area that we are going to pursue. So we formed this company, Technology Plus. And my wife, she resigned from Jamaica Livestock Association. And in addition to that, from the peddling that we did, also had bought the building at Balmoral Avenue where Technology Plus is housed. So there was I struggling to pay a mortgage because it was our intention to not to migrate all over the place. You know, you set up your business this month and 3 years down the road, you're asked to leave for whatever reason, or you go to space, etc. So we decided to pursue the opportunity to purchase the business, the building, which we did, and we started the company. So by this, I was still working at Bars Caribbean, now Infograce, because I had a company vehicle. And at the time, we started the company with 2 technicians and a receptionist. And my wife, Annette, used to be doing some of the sales work, the accounting work. When the office helper don't come, she have to do that part of the work as well, etc. So the company over time has evolved. So we now have a staff complement of about 75 over the years. And the company itself is about 34 years now that we're in business. So time come now for me to make a decision, because I used to be having it very difficult because I can't keep taking extended lunchtime. It's not fair to the company. And I can't keep giving up opportunities when there are potentials, prospect out of town. And it's difficult for me to go after those while being gainfully employed otherwise. So I had to make a decision. So I resigned, and I remember going to Tony Barnes at the time. And Tony was in charge of Grace Unisys at the time. And I said, Tony, I have to resign. I said, boy, Joe, this is not good. But I'll tell you the truth, if your business was something that we would have considered in the stream of things, I would offer to buy out your business, because you are a person that the company would not want to lose. Nonetheless, I did what I had to do. I resigned. I came full-time into Technology Plus and grew the business from a mustard seed to now a formidable organization that it is. My life in terms of Kiwanian, I was introduced to the Kiwanis Club of Kingston by Neville Arnold, who was also a security practitioner and still is. I'm not sure he still is. And never got rooted the way I should have been over the years. But I must thank like Stan Dunwell and now Richard Reese, IPP Richard, because they always ensure that my dues are always paid. Even if not on time, but it is always, that was a priority that was fulfilled. In terms of recent, we had a fundraiser and I participated in that and was able to contribute selling 40-something tickets. And I remember doing a mentorship, participating in a mentorship program at some point in the club, and was given a plaque, award plaque for it. And the way forward, when DP Stewart asked me to do this presentation, I didn't hesitate, because I think it could be a new dawn in terms of my involvement in the club. So this is a formidable way of introducing myself and looking forward to a new chapter as we go forward, as I go forward in my favorable intention to be more dedicated to the work of the club. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Joseph. That was really a nice way to end it. And it has happened before, I won't call any names, where, a member who wasn't really so active, after getting involved after doing one of these presentations, has become a lot more active. But I won't call any names. Okay. Let me now ask again. PP Victor, are you online?
Well, I didn't hear from him, DP Stewart. So I think you should just continue. I'll just allow maybe 5 minutes for questions. Then we move on. Then we proceed with the agenda. Thank you so very much.
Okay. And just to apologize because this hasn't happened to us before, but let me just ask: is there anyone who would like to ask Joseph, a question or two?
Yes, may I? Just one.
Yeah, go ahead, Earl.
Long time no see, Joseph.
Yes.
To come to collect some things and so on. But apart from that, I'm really fascinated by what you said when you met. I think you were about to say, no, you probably were 5 or 4 when you met this other best friend who shared the same problem. How at 4 years old you know share the same problem? That's what I'm more concerned about.
Well, it left an indelible. In other words, you go into this new environment and you see your father living in this strange environment. And I jump on my screen and I cried myself out. And my best friend, Danny, he remembered it clearly. And as we progress from the infant school to the primary school, to Kingston, to the secondary school, it was something that we always mocked each other about. Because he had a similar problem, but it wasn't as bad as me.
Well, so therefore, in your early days, it was really on reflection that you could know so you have the same problem. Okay, I understand that better now. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Okay, who else would like to ask Joseph a question? Let me chip in. Okay, go ahead. Who? Yes, go ahead. Hi, Maurice.
From Canada.
Yes, Maurice.
I got note that my good friend was going to do a presentation today, DP Stewart. And I was busy this evening, but I had to hurry off my call to ensure that I was on this call. And I'm going to ask the current president to ensure that that man, Mr. Joseph Francis, plays a very significant role. It's about time that he steps to the plate and be the batsman that I know he is and represent that school. I talk about him was Circuit Joe. I learned so much about him. We've been friends for so long. I haven't seen you in a long time. But I couldn't let this pass DP Stewart as an old Kiwanian. One was to drag him out to meetings when I was there. Pleasure speaking with Joe. Excellent job you guys are doing, and proud to have listened in to learn so much more. Please convey my best regards to your wife and my 2 kids. My 2 kids.
Will do, sir. Will do, sir. Good to see you, Maurice.
Nice seeing you, man. See you soon.
Thanks, Maurice, for your contribution.
Yes, thank you.
Who else would like to chip in?
DP Stewart.
Yes.
I have a question and a comment. My question is, what are the things that Technology Plus is involved in? Because I know I see security guards, but I don't know what else, and alarms and cameras and so, but I don't know what else. But I have to say that where my comment is now is about Kiwani and Joseph's temperament. And this is coming from, I was at a company that we had contracted this company to put up some cameras, and it kind of went sideways a bit with some things. But what I found is, no matter how we ranted and we raved and he never lost his cool. He never got upset. You know, at one point we had to say, you know what? we have to just work with him. Because, I mean, you could see that he had now that I'm reflecting, I can see all that wealth of experience in dealing with other people. But, I mean, I can tell you, we probably even crossed the line in being rude. And he never at any point lost his cool, which is amazing, especially for a Jamaican.
Yes, he's a very calm individual. But I'll allow him to elaborate a bit and tell us what services he also offers. I'm actually a client of his, although a small client, so he wouldn't, it wouldn't register so much on the dollar side. But Joseph, go ahead and tell him a little bit more about what the company offers.
All right, so Technology Plus specializes in electronic security. Pretty much automatic gates, automatic sliding door, automatic swing doors, like when you walk up at the airport. We do garage doors, we do video intercoms, audio intercoms, access control, CCTV camera system. We are now getting into electric fencing. We have a 24-hour monitoring center with arm response. We do burglar alarm, panic alarm, fire alarm, safety devices such as exit signs. We do traffic humps. We do traffic spikes. That's the one that points the tire to go in the wrong direction. And in addition to that, we do a small amount of security guard service. We specialize more on the electronic side of things and less on the manned security. We have roughly about 20 security guards. Pretty much those are the areas at this point.
And Joseph, one of the things that wasn't quite clear on the timing is that after you started the company, how many years was it before you left what was then Grace Unisys? I didn't get the time lag.
Oh, okay. I spent when we started the company, I spent about 3 years going on with Grace Unisys before I moved on to Technology Plus.
Okay.
So Annette ran the company for about 3 years.
Yes.
So,
okay. DP store that there's one hand in the chat. Sorry, in the part one of the participants or honorary member. You already see? Want to
Yeah. Yes. The name is Condison 23C.
Yes.
That's the name I see.
Yes. Yes.
Whoever that is, you can go ahead. Nope. Go ahead.
Kiwanis, you already see? Yes, we're not hearing it clearly. You could go ahead, please.
Can you hear me better now?
It's a little better.
It's a little bit better, but it's a bit low.
I don't know what is happening.
All right, do you want to type your question in the chat?
Can you hear me?
That's better.
Okay. So my question is, Kiwan and Joseph, how do you stay grounded? How do you remain grounded? Can you hear the question? Stay grounded. Stay grounded.
Okay. Are you referring to spiritually?
Spiritually, in general, like how you in your life, you strike me as a very calm person, and having done so much and came up on, seeing the inner city, seeing so much of life.
Right.
But it doesn't seem to have made you a different person.
Okay. Well, having been exposed to the inner city foundations of life, and I have evolved ahead of that criteria, I have always, because one of the things that my father did in his early years was to always take me to church on a Sunday. I used to go to St. Matthew's Church on Richmond Street in Arlington. And I've never lost that spiritualism. At one point, I went to this Pentecostal church on US Circle because a lot of my life was centered around US Circle. There was a Pentecostal church there, and I got involved, and that's when I invited my friend, Danny. And now, as I mentioned earlier, that he's now a Pentecostal bishop. But so much to say that when I married Annette, he was a full-fledged Catholic. And when I started having children, I did not want to have a spiritual division where I'm going to a Pentecostal and she's going to a Catholic. But I also, the Anglican faith and Catholic faith has similarities. And I remember once, I wasn't going to church as often as I should. And every Sunday my wife would go to church. And my son one day get up and said, "Mommy, I'm not going to church now." I said, "Why?" "Because Daddy not coming." From that Sunday forward, I have been going to church. I cannot be that excuse. I must set the example. and it worked. And I am now an active member. I go to Stella Maris Church, and I am an active member of the church. I am chairman for a fundraising committee that exists. I've joined about 2 different ministries in the church that I actively participate in. But I try to stay grounded through the blood of Jesus. Put it that way.
Amen.
Thank you.
Yes. DP Stewart, I see P. Letner have
Yes.
up. Then after we move to the vote of thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, President Paul. My question to you, Kiwani and Joseph, I noticed that you are bounded or your station in Kingston. What I need to find out if you service the entire Jamaica, other parishes in the island, or is just Kingston and the surrounding parishes of Kingston that you offer your services?
All right. So our service extends throughout the entire island. We do a few commercial locations like NHD, and we go all the branches, most of the branches. We do Kajikorba. But yes, we do commute. We don't have an office, a physical office out of town, and that is for various reasons. When you run a service business, it's easy for you to lose control because easily your staff, you're paying for the rent or paying all the expenses, and they're lost in the business. So with the culture, we operate where we have full control of the inventory and the resource. What we do is to try and upgrade the people that we send them out, basically.
Yes.
So if I wanted you to come down to Clarendon,
right,
Southall, how long would that take? In terms of going down there to do an estimate on what I want to do or what we want to do.
Okay.
To get the job done.
Right. Well, estimates are free.
You know where Southall is, though?
Southall?
Not the one in Maypen where the oranges are. This is past Chapperton going down to Frankfield.
Okay.
Going up to Jameson. So it's right down in the valley there.
Okay. Well, we commute anywhere you are. To do estimates, there's no charge, basically. And in terms of our Meantime to repair it for customers all the time, we do get to them within 2 to 3 days max.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay then. Thank you so very much, Kiwani and Joseph. At this time, I let DP Stewart, of course, move the vote of thanks.
Yes. Thank you, President Paul. You know, this has really been a real pleasure for me because I think a lot of what you said today, Joseph, has a lot of life lessons. I think one of the very important ones that you told us earlier is that you weren't paying much attention to your schoolwork, but you're smart enough to realize what the consequences would be if you didn't buck up, and you did. And a lot of persons, I've heard people say if they're not doing well, it's as if to say that's a given. But no, you obviously did not accept that as a given, and you started to do the work. So that's a good life lesson. Then, when you went to Wolmer's, you saw, the different, let's say, classes and so on, but that didn't frighten you. I mean, you got right into doing what, and then you began to get more confidence in yourself because you realized that you could compete. So, and I like the idea when you talked about, okay, your parents could only afford to give you so much, but you needed a little extra. So you did the extra, the little job on King Street and got that extra bonus. You made the effort. So all along you have, and then, I think people now who will look at you and don't know what you went through, they just wouldn't know. And yet you come across as a very, just as Newton said, you don't, very humble person, and I must admit when I called you, because at the time I didn't have your number, I got your cell number from Lloyd Barnett, and I must admit that I want to apologize to you because we didn't have your proper email address, because you told me you have not been receiving stuff from the club that we've been sending out. So we have corrected that. And most importantly, I like what you said in the end, that this could be a new dawn in terms of becoming more involved in the Kiwanis Club of Kingston. And that is something I certainly look forward to. And just want to thank you for coming and sharing, because that's really what this is all about. Just sharing so that we can get to know you better, and it pulls us all together. So thank you again, Joseph.
Yeah, you're welcome. And thank you for the opportunity.
Sure.
Yes, my friend. Thank you so very much. DP Lloyd Barnett, welcome, sir.
President Paul, thank you. Joe will tell you how far you go in terms of friendship, and in terms of I'm probably one of his earliest customers.
Okay,
good. I can attest
good.
to the quality of service that you receive from Technology Plus. Any problem you have, and you call him, he's never too busy to deal with. I thank him for that. His dear wife, and it's all the best to the family.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, DP Lloyd. Thank you very much, Kiwani and Joseph. And of course, as DP Stewart said, it's good that you're willing to come on board again and to be very active in the Kiwanis Club of Kingston. Your presentation was extremely enriching, and being a man of faith, that is something that we all need to exemplify as we move throughout our lives. At this time, I'm going to ask our Sergeant at Arms, DP Desmond, to try to extract some fine or to give us a joke or two. DP Desmond.
President, do you have enough time?
Well, I'll give you 3 minutes.
Minutes, all right. Well, I'm going to find PE Junior. PE Junior. The fine is really because.
I am on.
Yeah, man. We have one district.
Yes.
Canada and the Caribbean.
Yes, I realize.
In Jamaica, we have division, sir. So I'm going to.
And thank you for your support, sir.
$500.
And thank you for your support.
Always available, sir. My joke is, you're the only one I'm finding today, sir. A senior officer in the army noticed a squaddy and barked at him. Get over here now. What is your name, soldier? John, the soldier replied. Look, I don't know what army you think you have joined, son, but I don't call anyone by his first name, barked the senior officer. It breeds familiarity, and that leads to a breakdown in authority. I refer to my soldiers by their last names only, such as Smith, Jones, Baker, or whatever. And you are to refer to me as sir. Do I make myself clear? Yes, sir. Now that we got that straight, what is your last name? The soldier sighed heavily. Darling. My name is John Darling, sir. Senior officer replied. Oh, okay, John. Here's what I want you to do. So, just to say, I have a neighbor who is David Darling. And when I see him in the mornings, he would say, "Good morning, Mr. Bachelor." And I would always reply, "Good morning, David." Thank you. That's my...
Thank you very much, DP Desmond.
Good thing it's only 3 minutes, man.
I tell you. Okay, thank you so very much. We move to announcements. Our Secretary DLG Willie. And of course,
thank you, President. Thank you,
yes,
President Paul. President Paul, of course, you're aware that you can find your Sergeant Arms.
I can find it. Okay, good. Now that I know, I'll make note of that going forward.
In respect to notices, on Saturday, October 21st, is our Kiwanis one-day project. We will be completing the painting of the pedestrian crossings at Michael University College. And we will also be engaging in the tree planting exercise at a few of our builders clubs, and as well as Michael and St. Hugh's Key Club.
Excuse me, DLG, really? Did you say Saturday, October 21st?
October 23rd, October 20, the 23rd.
Okay. Thank you, DP Chris. Of course, on Saturday note, the funeral service for Pastor Director Aaron Mighty will be held tomorrow at Swallowfield Chapel. IPP Richard has in fact sent out the link for YouTube. Those who, and I trust that many of us will be on YouTube to support his dear wife and family. And insofar as my wife, Pastor Director Shirley Reason, her funeral will be at St. Andrew Parish Church on Friday, 22nd at 10:30. Unfortunately, protocols that restricted me for inviting, they're restricting me to 20 people, including the clergy. But I had to twist the arm and get a few more in. Short service will be followed by an interment of ashes in the columbarium. That starts at 10:30, and I have sent out a link on the for YouTube as well as Facebook in the WhatsApp group. Hello, Kiwanis, and so far as interclubbing opportunities, tomorrow evening, Kiwanis Club of Trafalgar will be having their installation officers. Sorry, not tomorrow. October 23, that's Saturday. We'll be having their installation officers. On October 24th, Kiwanis Club, there'll be a joint meeting between Kiwanis Clubs of Hopewell, Westmoreland Central, and Santa Cruz. And next Monday, the 25th, be the installation of officers for the Kiwanis Club of Wellington, Kingston. The details of each of these interclubs will be sent out prior to the meeting. Again, fellow Kiwanis, those of us who are interested or want to support the family members of Errol Mighty, please check your WhatsApp group. I know immediate past President Richard has sent the link. And the link for Pastor Shirley Reason is also in the group. Thank you very much, President.
Yes, thank you very much, Secretary DLG Willie. I just received some breaking news and I wish to share, if I may. Conveying congratulations to immediate past Governor, Dr. Dolores Lewis, and the 2020-2021 class of Lieutenant Governors on the following results. The highest net growth in Kiwanis International, 545, and the first in North America with 26 new clubs. That was just shared with me, so I'm just letting our division, Eastern Canada and the Caribbean, that we did very well last year. At this time, I'll move to DP Stewart to share the thought of the week.
Just before you...
Yes, DP, Chris.
Yeah, I don't think we should, make this week pass. And of course, we all know that it was mentioned that DLG Willie's wife will be laid to rest on Friday. As we earlier this week was naming the birthdays of the Kiwanian wives, and we mentioned my wife, we mentioned the wife of past President Victor, but there was also Shirley's birthday this week. It would have been on the 20th.
Tomorrow.
And one of the part of the history of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston, well, it's not really the club, but we always, Victor, Willie, and myself would always use the opportunity to gain some points with our wives by taking them out to dinner on some day during the week. So it's just that's I remember. I think Shirley's birthday would have been tomorrow, and so we are all supportive of DLG's really at this time.
Thank you very much, DP Chris. In fact, she'd be proud to tell you she'll have been 78.
Wow. Thank you so very much, DP Chris. Thanks.
President Paul.
Yes.
President Paul, if I may, I'm glad DP Chris said what he just said, because it's something I was about to bring up, that tomorrow is would have been her birthday. But I also want to point out that the links to both services are contained in our bulletin for this week. So if you miss the WhatsApp, you can see the link in this week's bulletin.
Okay, and President Paul?
Yes.
I don't know if you could invite anybody from the audience who may have an announcement, and give them the opportunity if they do.
Okay, yes, thank you very much. Does anyone have any announcement to make from your club? Any upcoming events?
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm DCP Reggie Thompson from the Michael University College. All right, so we will be having, or the Caribbean District will be having, the District Leadership Fall Conference November the 12th to the 14th. So it's a 3-day event, which is normally held in November. So you all can look out to it, and we will definitely send over the registration link to you all.
Okay, VP Reggie. And also, what about your next week, your anniversary meeting?
Yes, we also have that as well, and that will be virtual.
Okay, then. So we will get the link in short order, correct?
Yes, you will.
Okay, then. Thank you so very much.
President?
Yes, PDT Ralston.
I am truly concerned that my friend and brother, DP Chris, seems to have been, is having a problem about building points this year. And I don't know how to express my concern to him. But I'm sure that he will find a way to build some point.
Pastor TT, your concern was heard in the right quarter, sir.
Okay, yes. Okay, thank you very much. DP Stewart, do you wish to share your thoughts with us for the week? How many do you have this week? 1 or 2?
3.
Sorry, I didn't. Yes, I was muted, as I should have been. Yes, I have 2.
Yes.
This one, let me read it first. It says, never go away from good relations, even when you find some faults, because relationships need affection, not perfection. And I don't mind saying to you that I got that one from DP Desmond. So thank you, DP Desmond. And this other one, don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. And that's my other one for the week. Sorry. Thank you, President.
Okay, thank you very much, DP Stewart. Well, at this time, we will raise our imaginary glasses to our toast to Kiwanis International and to Jamaica Land We Love. This meeting of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston is now terminated.
And may I just add that